Hello everybody, welcome to Brands Hatch for the penultimate round of this season's championship. And there is a possible chance we'll be crowning some titles today, and we'll see how that goes. Starting a little bit late here because we had we started the server a little bit late, but also we had the tribute lap to Joshua Freeman. I'm hoping I got that name right. I'm going to be very embarrassed if I did not. I'm not familiar with the driver in question. It was announced somewhere, and I forgot. I promised myself I wouldn't forget, but I did. I did indeed.
Green light. Show them what you got.
Yeah. And we're into qualifying here for the Iron Series at the moment here. So let's get this. Let's kick this pig. I will probably be rolling solo today because of some, just life getting in the way with my co-commentator, Mr. Byron, and who will be giving us our track lap. It will be Ricky Beckelar. Probably this camera view is best. Brands Hatch is a track I know well. It's a track that I think every sim racer probably on the face of the planet has done a lot of running at. And it will be interesting to see what the guys can do here today. Of course, as per usual, if there are any audio glitches, please let me know. Video glitches, please let me know. And I will do my best to address them as best as everyone, as best as I can. No guarantees I'll actually be able to fix whatever's wrong, though. There may be a small rumble in the background. The landlords are doing laundry at the moment. The laundry room is... You can't see me, but I'm pointing directly up. It's right above the room my computer's in. So we may hear a little dryer tumble now and then, but hopefully not too much. Anyways, Ricky Beckelar is about to start his first hot lap, and let's see what he can do. Heading through the Paddock Hill Bend, this is a very, very tricky off-camber turn. Probably the site of most accidents around this track. And then we head into Druids, which is a nice tight hairpin, which is also a source of accidents, but mostly because it's a primary overtaking area. Next up, we have Graham Hill Bend. And then I sometimes get this next turn wrong because I'm used to also the Indy layout, which is McLaren's here, but I believe this is Surtees on the Grand Prix layout that we are using. And then we head on down the straightaway here, down towards Pilgrim's Drop, which is, I think, something that if you go and see in real life is a lot more impressive than I think the game communicates. Through Hawthorns. And then through... I always forget that one's name. Is that Sheen Curve, or is the next one Sheen Curve? I know one of these two is Sheen, and I don't remember what the other one is. Anyways... Either way, that was Sheen, possibly. And then through Sterling's. And heading on down towards the Jim Clark curve to finish up a lap here of Brands Hatch. And Ricky Beckelar will, assuming he hasn't invalidated a lap here, will be moving to the front, to the top of the timesheets. For the time being, there you go. All right. So, let's talk about the Iron Championship here real quick, everybody, because it's a tight one. So, it's an interesting note here. The championship is currently being led by Bozer, but it is my understanding that Bo will not be able to compete in the remaining 2 rounds. So, his championship lead is perilous at best. In second place at the moment is Pat Fortune on 45 points. That's 6 points back. Followed by Mario Fajea on 42. Now, I believe Mario is missing the final at Zandvoort, but he should be here today. But he'll need a good result here today if he's going to keep himself in the championship hunt. Alfie Solomons is in 4th with 40 points. D. Hines is 5th on 37. Ricky Beckelar, who we are seeing right now, is after that on 36, along with Nathaniel B. Martin Wombley, who has not shown up in a while, is on 34. Lucio Condi, who had a big win at Kyalami last time out. A perfect 20 score. Second person this season to do that in the iron category. He is after that on 34 points. 28 points for Jos van de Velde. 16 for Michael Hazenbrook, Matthew East, and Stipo. 12 for Dick Post. 6 for Rion Latare. 4 for Clinton Strobel. 2 for Bram Hoven. 2 for Lord Robs. And 1 for J.J. Zimmerman. That is your standings. So the championship cannot be resolved in the iron here today. It will go to Zandvoort. Although it could be very, very uninteresting, I guess is the best word I have for it. If certain things happen. We've got a good lap here going for D. Hines. He's about a second up despite having to dodge some rough traffic. We'll see what the stunt possum can make happen here. In the 976, the McLaren 720S. And across the line, still 6th place. Much improved, though. Same with Jesse, is it Dykeman or Diekman? Not entirely sure. What up, Wiley? As Jesse heads off the track. And Bekelar is still, by far and away, the best in the field right now. 1.3 seconds clear in pole position. Pat Fortune in second. Alfie Solomons, Dick Post, and Lucio Condi, your top 5. Also, just realized my laptop was not actually watching the stream, which is not good because it's there to kind of give me a little quality check. I don't see anyone catching Bekelar right now, that's for sure. We got a good lap going for Pat Fortune. We got a good lap going for Lucio Condi, but nothing in the ballpark of what it would take to catch Bekelar. So I think the rest of these guys are fighting for second place on the grid as right now. We'll, of course, see if Ricky can put together the full 60-minute race to actually bring it on home. As Pat Fortune moves back into second place, displacing Mario Fajea. And D. Heinz comes across the line with a second improvement, but actually ends up sliding backwards in the field. That's always got to be a little bit embarrassing when you're doing it. Stipo has not left the pit lane. Makes me wonder if perhaps he is on a qualifying ban. We have seen that utilized here in Evolution Racing Academy before. Dick Post heading off the track. I do like the Herberth Motorsport Lotus kind of colors. Very nice. Very John Player special. Donut Racing, which I think is just an extension. I think that's probably supposed to be Van Nel Racing and not Donut Racing. I could be wrong. Jesse Diekman into the wall. Who's on a good one? Dick Post has got a little bit of improvement still, despite a little bit of a mistake earlier. 3/10 up. This should be enough to move him past both Mario Fajea and Jos van de Velde, if he can hang on to it. Also, a really good lap going for Lucio Condi, so we'll hop on board with him in a second. And Dick Post does move into 4th place. Lucio Condi goes to second quickest with a nice 1:25.415. First person to come within a second of Ricky Bekelar, who looks like he's abandoning this lap. A lot of green out there, but not a lot of chances of actually catching up to the pole sitter. I'll say that much. We got some Stunt Possum cheers in the chat. Of course we do. We here at Evolution Race Academy do love our Stunt Possums. Jos van de Velde right now has got a very good lap going. As it stands, this would move him all the way to 3rd place. But of course he has to put this all together. He's got a long way to go. So he's just making his way through Pilgrim's Drop at this point. There it is. I feel like that camera view gives it a little bit of justice. What's the Cam 2? Cam 2 is probably not going to help us out really at all. I don't think so. Maybe Cam 1? We'll see if we get Cam 1 through Pilgrim's Drop. That's going to be my goal here for a little bit. Van de Velde has lost a little bit of time, but still is on pace for 3rd place. He would move past Dick Post, Mario Fajea, and Pat Fortune. And slide in behind Bekelar and Condi. Coming to the line, should be 3rd. No? Did he invalidate the lap? He must have invalidated the lap, which is more than a little bit of a shame. All right, who else got a shot to do something here? Pat Fortune's got a good lap going, but like it's not gonna improve. It's gonna be short of Bekelar and Condi, as it stands. Here we go, going down Pilgrim's Drop. Ah, darn! It goes in behind. Just can't get any love. Can't get any love. Oop. A little bit of a grass touch there. That is Dick Post right ahead of him. Dick's not on a good lap. If I were him, I would probably just get out of the way. He's in the red. And we're heading into Jim Clark Curve. You're not going to make up a red time of 0.4 of a second in one turn. It's not really on the cards. It was a slight improvement for Pat. Displaces Fajea from 3rd place. And we have the bronzes being deployed. All right, let's talk about the Bronze Championship, shall we? In the Bronze Championship, it is currently being led by Sven van de Velde. He has the chance to seal the title up here today, sitting on 75 points with a 25-point gap back to Robert Volt. 48 points for Brian Mongrand, who recently got promoted to this. He was looking like the surefire Iron Champion, but picks up a promotion to Bronze. He is on 48 points, 42 for Ron Morley, 39 for Max Cruz, 36, pardon me, for Thomas Wong and Matthias Wiedemann, 35 for James Wheel, Nicholas Lights on 27, Robert Stoltz on 20, Idris Cahill, Mickey Taylor, and Dave Slater are all on 14, followed by 6 points each for Chris Stancer and Dieter Van Heuvel, 2 points for Alptungal, and Chris Cosba is yet to score, but he is competing in this category. So this championship could be wrapped up by Sven van de Velde here today. That 25-point lead would be possible to extend beyond a race win here today. In fact, actually, he doesn't even have to extend the lead. That's the thing. Like, he's actually got the gap that if everything stays the same, he would be champion heading into. He would be already the champion heading into Zandvoort. All he has to do basically is score points here today to get the job done. And not have Robert Volt or Brian Mongrand have a fantastic day. So this championship is largely a little bit spoken for. Ron Morley. Sir, your car is getting less and less purple with time, and it's making it a little bit harder for me to call you the purple people eater. So how about you don't do that? I don't think I've ever bullied a driver so much about their livery. And not even because the current one offends me. Although I will say this does have the feeling of a broken livery. Maybe something not correct in the pack. Stud Possum's going for back-to-back team championships. Let's go! Casey Jones in the chat. Representing Stunt Possum. Ron Morley coming to the end of what should be a timed lap. No idea if it's a good one. Good enough for 3rd place at the moment. Sven van de Velde going 2nd quickest. So at the moment it's a Van Nel front row. James Wheel out there in the Track Tool Mustang. Love that livery. Looks great. No Bram today. Oh, well, that's not good. Bram Cox has been kind of one of your secret weapons. Wheel currently up about 2/10. If he can really clean it up through the last bit here, he could probably sneak onto the front row. We'll see what he can do here. He's got Jim Clark Curve left. One of the cyber racing cars up ahead of him. I believe that's Matthias Wiedemann, who is a championship rival of Wheels. Not for nothing. They enter today 1 point apart. And Wheel does go third quickest. Also got a good lap going for Brian Mongraw, who's sporting a nice new livery today. I like it. I'm not normally a big fan of white cars, but that one looks okay. What do you guys think? What do you think, chat? Brian's livery looking spiffy. Gets a little bit wide there through Hawthorne's. Lost a little bit of time, but he's still in the green. Idris Cahill's also got a decent little lap going on right now, but he's very, very early in the lap. And Wiedemann's got a very good lap, so we'll hop to Wiedemann probably after this. See what he can do. He's 4/10 up right now. See what Brian Mongraw can do here. This will be a slight improvement, but it should only pump him up into 6th place ahead of Lucio Condi. And there it is. Okay, so I said Wiedemann was on a good lap. He's lost a little bit, but he's still 3+10ths up. Making his way here through Jim Clark Curve here. This should move him into 8th place. And it does not. Must have been illegal. He must have illegalized the lap at some point, because the lap did come in as better than his best lap listed there. You saw it on the display. Mickey Taylor out there doing good things. Ooh, actually, the person to look at is Ron Morley as he zips into pole position. Taylor, of course, in one of my favorite liveries, the Alien movies car. Now, if you really wanted to make this work, though, there are numerous pilots in the Alien universe. You can change your name to that. I personally, I don't remember his name. It's the captain of the ship in Alien Resurrection. I just like his voice. His voice sticks with me. I can never remember his name, nor even his face, but like he has the most gravelly of voices, and it just really works. So this should be a very good lap here for Taylor, up in his 7th place. And we catch up with a very solid running James Wheel, who might be on for pole here. Right now he is. And Wheel goes to the top of the time charts. 1:24.572. Brian Mongraw off to a very good start on this lap. Possible pole position lap here. We'll see what he can do. Of course, it depends. I mean, it could be that his first sector on his current best lap is just bad, and he's basically just getting a head start every time, and then he like ace sector 2, ace sector 3, and as a result, he's having a hard time bringing it home. But right now, he's flirting with pole. He's up 53 hundredths of a second, which is only about 1/100th short of pole. Can he bring it home? Let's go, Canada. Through Jim Clark Curve. Ah, he lost time in Sterling's. No. All right, this is not going to be a pole time. It is going to be his best lap. It is going to be improvement. It is going to be top 5. Well, almost. Lost out by 5/100ths of a second. All right, who's got a good one going? Idris Cahill's got a little improvement lap here in the Stunt Possum BMW. And I know we have a Stunt Possum cheering section, so we'll get him on display here. Currently in 10th place. This lap would only put him past Matthias Wiedemann, but still, 9th place is 9th place. And it would put him definitely in the ballpark of the Lucio Conti, Mickey Taylor area there. In fact, he powered up. That third sector was very good. And this is going to be, I think, better than 9th. Yeah, it's going to be 7th. Good jump, Taylor and Conti. Very nice third sector. Very tight. Very nice. Robert Volt, who is the guy who's trying to keep Sven van de Velde from winning the title here today. It's not looking good. Sven's up in 4th place. Robert's back in 20th. Doesn't seem like Brands Hatch and Robert Volt are necessarily getting along the way you'd like right this second. He is on an improvement lap. That's why my eye was driven to him. Idris Cahill might be flirting with pole, actually. We will stick with Volt, but we are going to go to Cahill here in a bit. Cahill is on a speed demon run. Lost some time there. Still looking good, though. Still looking good. Robert Volt's going to chew over a second off of his time. That being said, I think it's only going to jump him into 19th place. Maybe not even. 19th. Jeez. Full second improvement, but not really a lot to actually talk about. Cahill coming through Jim Clark Curve. He's got a threat for pole here, but he lost a little bit on the exit of Jim Clark Curve. Still, this should be top 5. Idris Cahill with 5th place. That top 5 is really tight. There's less than 2/10 separating Wheel from Cahill. And the Silvers take to the track. Casey Jones and company. Let's talk about the championship real quick here. Leading the way coming into today is Patrick Bellish, the 101 BMW, the Red Bull Sim Racing car. Having a great season, winner of Kyalami and Misano. He leads the championship by 13 points over Nathan Gray, who it took me a moment to find. Nathan Gray for Los Patos Hermanos in the Mercedes. Winner of the Red Bull Ring this season. 3rd place, we've been told, is not here. That was Bram Cox. He's on 49 points coming today. Richard Oakes is on 40. Do we have Richard in the field? I do not see the Rust Bucket. So 4th and 5th place, not here today. Then it's Cedric Muir on 37 points. There he is in the Verstappen.com Racing Ferrari. Cedric had a very good run at Kyalami, but unfortunately made a mistake, ended up not being able to turn that into a win, got 2nd place. He is the winner of Zolder from earlier this season, though. Bearded X Badass is next up in the standings on 32. Oh, Richard Oakes is here now. A late arrival for the Rusty Bucket, but it is here, and that's all that matters. Bearded X Badass appears to be not here. He's on 32 points. Sean Young is on 28 points. There he is in the number 23 Cyber Racing Ferrari. And after him, it will be 28 points. Then Casey Jones on 26. We saw him earlier. Then it's Kerry Pattenden on 26 points as well for the Track Tool Mustang crew. After that, it's El Perry in the Nissan. Stealth Bomber here, coming in on 24 points. The new addition to the weight I just said weight class as if I'm talking about MMA. My apologies, but we do have a newcomer to the silver ranks, and that is Tristan Akaloan, who was competing as an iron driver, has been given the double jump, and is on 23 points. Caden Scott, who had that happen earlier to him this season, is on 19. I don't see Caden here. Otherwise, I would give you... Oh, there he is. There's Caden Scott in the crazy Rapids car. Yet at Kraft is after that on 15 points. I don't see Yannick in the server. So it looks like he's not here today. And then Steve Tetley in the 808 car is next up in the standings. Although it appears Steve's livery is broken today. He's fielding a new... I think he's probably fielding the Gulf Oil livery, and it's not working, unfortunately. But he stands on 10 points. And then it's Dennis Hook, who I don't see. Dennis, where are you at? Let's see him. But after him, it'll be Tyler Scott on 5 points. There's Tyler Scott in the Sarko red car. And then after that, it's Adrian Marud and Thomas Boris on 0 points each. So let's get to covering the just qualifying here. Who's doing good things? Who's bringing the pace? Nathan Gray about to hop way up to 6th place. Solid lap, good lap. Another good one coming up here from Casey Jones as well. He's about a second up on his best time. And that'll be good enough for 11th place at the moment. Couple of big hitters yet to come. Couple big hitters who get to post up a lap time. Including Akaloan and the Rust Bucket and the Stealth Bomber. Cedric Muir currently is on a pretty good lap. He's about 4/10 up, despite getting a little bit wide there. Early in the lap, too, so plenty of time to make up ground. Currently sits 9/10 off of pole position. Very tight grid today, actually. We don't generally see like a 1 second gap only appear at about 14th place, which is at 15th place now. Somebody hops up a couple spots. I was Bellish. Patrick Bellish just took pole. Championship leader on the pole position. Bellish could wrap up the championship here today, but it would require some intriguing mathematics to make it happen. So I would not say the championship's going to be over today. I will say it'll be a 2-horse race heading into Zandvoort, would be my guess, between Bellish and Gray. Because Cox is not here, and Richard Oakes is a little too far back for me to really take his chances a little bit seriously. Sorry, Richard. But I cannot lie. Here's the Ferrari for the Nubs Racing Division. Adrian Marud has had a rough season this season. 3 starts, 0 points. Looking to try to change his fortunes here at Brands Hatch. Should hop up a couple of spots here. Into 30th place. Just seems like that Ferrari has not really sat right with him all season long, to be honest. And we also have a good lap here from Akaloan. At least I think so. Shown in the green, but I don't have anything to compare to. Akaloan to pole! Talk about a great lap. He was having a hard time getting it legal before, but he's on the pole with a 24.317. Any doubt that this guy shouldn't have been in silver? Absolutely obliterated. Phenomenal work. El Perry's got a good lap going here. Still early in it. About 4/10 up. Ian the Stealth Bomber, Nismo. Through Pilgrim's Drop. Into Hawthorns. He lost some time at some point. Still in the green. Still in the green. Anyone in bigger green? Ooh, Richard Oakes is in about 4. Whoa. Okay, I just go to him and he drops a 10th basically. Anyways, still. Should be a solid lap here. Should be a little bit under a second off pole. There you go, 13th place. Again, a lot of parity. A lot of parity today. Kerry Patton did on a good lap. Could maybe threaten for a top 10 or a top 5 here. Top 10 for sure. And through Jim Clark curve. Oh, he lost time. He messed up at Sterling's. I just didn't notice it. Still in the green, but like, yeah, it's not going to be much of an improvement. Pops up into 12th place as a result. 24.96. We have a pole threat here from Cedric Mirror. Lost a little bit of time coming out of Jim Clark curve, though. Still going to be good enough for third. Super tight. We have 4 cars within a tenth of each other at the top of the pile. That being Bellish, Akaloan, Mirror, and Gray. Phenomenal tightness. Akaloan's threatening pole again. He's up about 2/10 right now, which would be enough. Heading on to Jim Clark curve. Lost some time. Still enough, though, based on the spectator numbers. Bit wide, bit wide. That might have cost it. Can he do it? Can he do it? Yes, he can. 1/100th of a second. Tristan Akaloan into the pole position. Ahead of Patrick Bellish, who appears to be done. All right. Threat for pole might yet come from Cedric Mirror. Right now, he is fast enough. But we've seen a lot of people get that Jim Clark curve exit just a little bit wrong. I was worried he overcooked it. Maybe he did. He's losing time now. No! Cedric had the pole lap and lost it in Jim Clark curve. All right. So pole positions for Akaloan, James Wheel, and Ricky Becalar. So the Bronze Championship remains alive. Although, again, I did say that the chances of that not being wrapped up today are very, very, very limited. As Sven van de Velde only really just needs to keep his head down and pick up a decent lap. Let's see here. If Robert Volt wins, which seems unlikely at this point, Volt would be on 70 points heading into the finale. So the magic number would be second for Van de Velde to clear up the championship. So a top 2 finish here for Van de Velde, and he is the champion. That being said, that's if Volt is the guy who beats him. Like, in reality, the really simple answer is he just has to beat Volt. Do excuse any kind of like groaning sounds or anything like that. I have a little bit of an upset tummy. And it is no crashes into T1. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. Congratulations, Tristan Akaloan, for the pole position. In fact, a couple of I don't want to say odd pole sitters here, but guys who are not in the championship fight taking poles here in Akaloan, Wheel, and I guess Becalar is still in the championship fight. I forget that Bowser, the leader of the Iron category, only has 51 points to his name. So, like the battle realistically goes back as far as like Jas van de Velde, possibly. Like that, like it's that level of Can I get a good camera view to do this? Not really. I really seriously, if anybody at ACC is listening, or the ACC race connection tool, I would love a camera that specifically allows me to do a grid walk. That would be phenomenal. I really want to have that ability when I do my grid tour. But unfortunately, the camera tends to mean I have to wait for them to get rolling before I can like really give you an isolated view. Because like if I said, "Hey guys, Tristan like you can figure out Tristan Akaloan's on pole," but like by the time we get back to like I don't know, like row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like row 9, we're gonna lose like who's who necessarily if you're not familiar with the liveries, and I can't assume that you guys know the liveries, so there is that. I am a little bit surprised Bekelar didn't get promoted from Iron. His pace has been very bueno. It's not been as obvious because of Akaloan and Brian Mongra's performances, but like he's been ripping it up. He did 2 races. He's got a win at Zolder and a second place at Woolton Park to his name. So like his problem is just like attending. Yeah, but figuring out to get the F7. So here's the issue, Wiley. Free cam tends to break the spectator tool a little bit. Like it has a track record of that being something that breaks the spectator tool. That it crashes. Then I gotta go out. I gotta come back in, and like what I'm saying is I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it for the biscuit. So instead of a grid walk, you get random talkie time. We have recently finally stopped having the pole curse. If you will recall, like coming out of the Red Bull Ring this season, we had 1 winner from pole and 1 winner from pole only, which was the bronze pole in Misano, which was won by Max Cruz. But yeah, Zolder kind of ruined that when all 3 pole starters actually won their class. In Ricky Bekelar, Sven van de Velde, and Cedric Muir. So that kind of poo-pooed on it. Although Lucio Conti at Kyalami was the only pole sitter who actually took pole. So, or the only pole sitter who won. So it's not been a guarantee. It's not been a guarantee. We have not had that kind of like dominance. We got some cheering for Robert Volt. He needs it. He needs it. His championship is it's on the line here tonight, and he is pretty far down in the pecking order, unfortunately, starting from P32. Oh, it's no problem, Liam. Although, admittedly, if you want to see Robert Volt race, you do kind of have to be in the server with Robert Volt. And for the record, I was earlier on sort of like talking about the flaws of ACC Race Connector, the spectator tool. I want to be clear, ACC Race Control, like it's hard to develop. Oh, Robert Volt's going to start from the pit lane. Interesting. So penalty-wise, I guess we can talk about penalties here. Patrick Bellish has got a penalty, as well as Cedric Muir, Max Cruz, El Perry, and that's it. So grid walk time. Tristan Akaloan is your pole sitter for Van Nel Racing in the Lamborghini. Joining him on the front row is the Silver Championship leader, Patrick Bellish. Has a chance to wrap up the title here today, but he does need a pretty solid result. Third place will be Cedric Muir in the Verstappen.com Ferrari. Nathan Gray, the other championship contender, will start from P4 for Las Patos Hermanos. James Wheel is your bronze pole sitter for the track duel team. Joining him on the front row of that or on the third row, is Ron Morley. Max Cruz will start from P7. Sven van de Velde, the champion-elect, because it's going to be hard to keep him from wrapping up the bronze title here today, but he will start from P8. Idris Cahill in an impressive 9th place there for the stunt posse BMW crew. Pole sitter for Iron is Ricky Beckelar. He'll start from 10th place in the Van Nel Porsche. Brian Mongraw starts from P11. Kerry Pattenden, P12. The Stealth Bomber, P13. Casey Jones, P14. Richard Oakes in the Rust Bucket will start P15. David Slater for Team Track Tool will start P16. Mickey Taylor in the Aliens car, P17. Lucio Condi, our Kyalami winner, will start from P19. He is the blue car there. Pardon the mess up there. Sean Young will start from 19. Steve Tetley, who is out of position right now, will start from 20th. Matthias Wiedemann, 21st. Caden Scott, 22nd. There he is, the Crazy Rapids one. Pat Fortune, Iron Championship contender, will start from 23rd on the grid, with Mario Fajea, a rival, in 24th. Tyler Scott has overtaken them. He should not do that. He'll be starting from 25th. Chris Stancer, 26th. 27th for Dick Post, my co-commentator's favorite person. Robert Stoltz, 28th. 29th, Jos van de Velde. 30th, Alfie Solomons. Then it's Adrian Marood, D. Hines, J.J. Zimmerman, Jesse Dykeman, Steepo, Matthew East, and Robert Volt will start from the pit lane. Let's get the Helicam out here, as is tradition at the start of the race, and we'll see what happens. BMW and Lamborghini leading the way. Ferrari and Mercedes on row 2.
Green light, give it all you can.
Here we go. Heading down towards Paddock Hill Bend. People are shaping up, but it looks okay so far. Don't see any yellow flags at the moment. Never mind. Jos van de Velde, or Sven van de Velde, is toppling down the order. What has happened to Sven van de Velde? Oh boy. Big pile up. Track to a Porsche off there at the side. Let's have a look at what happened to Sven, because that's a big deal with him being the championship leader. So he's in the Van Nel Porsche. Up the inside of Ron Morley. He got bumped by one of the stunt possums. I imagine that's Casey Jones. I imagine. Just by process of elimination. And then a big pile up there with one of the Track Tool cars ending up in the wall. That would be... who is the Track Tool Porsche? J.J. Zimmerman? J.J. Zimmerman. Alright, out at the front, Tristan Akalowen still leads from Patrick Bellish. 3rd place for Cedric Muir. 4th place, James Wheels up a spot. Nathan Gray dropped down to 4th. He's got Max Cruz on his tail, followed by Ron Morley, Ricky Beckelar, Kerry Pattenden, and El Perry, your top 10. Back, Richard Oakes overtaking Chris Stancer. Jos van de Velde getting past Adrian Marood, and yellow flags out for Robert Stoltz. What has happened? Oh, he gets obliterated by one of the Van Nel cars. That's not good. That was Jesse Diekman, I think, who took him out. Could be mistaken, but he's the other one that's down at the back of the pack. So I do think that's probably the case. Good battle going on between Lucio Condi and Ricky Taylor. In the background, you have Sean Young and Caden Scott. In the inside of Surtees, Taylor's going to be hung out to dry around the outside. Sean Young could have maybe tried to force that, but did not. Steve Tetley, by the way, on the back then, there in the black car. The black Porsche. Caden Scott looking down the inside of Sean Young. Doesn't commit into Hawthorns. Somebody quickly looks like the guy turned into KC after rewatching it. Yeah, no, I would agree. That was a come across the nose there from Van de Velde. I want to be clear. I wasn't blaming KC for the contact. I was just saying that it was KC. Very seldom would I make a assignment of blame on such minimal action. Like I would I would want to get like all CSI with it, try to figure out who's, and I can't do that as the commentator. That's up to the stewards. Mickey Taylor, a little bit of a weird little twitch there. He seems to be using a very different braking point than a lot of the other cars, and it's causing a bit of an issue. Not suggesting like anything menacing or whatever. Mistakes do happen. No. I've always said this. There are very few over my years of racing. The people I've raced with a lot, almost everybody at some point has hit me, and almost everyone at some point has been hit by me. Like, you know, it's going to happen. The only people I tend to, I mean, I used to do onboard videos on YouTube. You can check them out, Mio Dread Gaming on YouTube if you want. And there would be times where like there were people that made me feel uneasy, but I was never like angry with them. You know what I mean? Over in ESR, well, he's not an ESR. He just does our multi-community races, but a Czech driver by the name of Yuri, and he is a bit of a hazard on wheels, partially because his internet connection is bad, but partially because I think he's like 15, 16 years old, and let's just say risk assessment is not a thing he does. So, well, even in real life racing, you've hit people. I mean, particularly if you race rallycross. Ricky Bacalar in a battle here with Kerry Patton in over 8th place. Let's get ourselves onto the TV cam, if you please. Get a little closer to the action instead of the helicam. Akaloan with the early fastest lap, 24.515. Of course, there are a lot of penalties to sort out. At the pit stops, there always is. Still the best battle on the track right here. El Perry all over the back end. Also, I know that we have a certain loud and boisterous chatter who enjoys the Nissan. So here we go, giving it its spotlight. As Ricky Bacalar and El Perry go to battle. And in the background, not too far behind, is Brian Mongraw in the Porsche. Further back, Lucio Condi making the overtake on Sean Young. That kind of came out of nowhere, so I suspect Young might have made a mistake with the braking zone or something, because they were not especially close together. Yellow flag out for Steve Tetley. Let's see what happened to the 808 Porsche. Running ahead of one of the cyber racing cars. Just loses it. Gets a little bit of curb. Ends up in the wall. Casey Jones picking up a spot over Idris Cahill, his fellow stunt possum driver. And Brian Mongraw ending up very off the track. I mean, he wasn't near anybody, so I assume this has just got to be driver error, but it's a big one. Yep. Also, could somebody please look up the 2 turns after Hawthorns on this track, please? And remind me, one of them is Sheen Curve. What is the other one? Help a brother out. James Wheel losing a couple of spots. Looks like he made a mistake. Nathan Gray and Max Cruz and the 2 Los Patos Hermanos Mercedes is moving past. Well, the person I'm talking about there, Lewis, Liam, is in a nutshell a fan of the GTR specifically. I don't believe she actually has a particular fandom of the Nissan brand, given that she drives the Toyota. Alrighty. Things are settling down a little bit, but not too much. Sean Young on the tail of David Slater. Track Tool versus Cyber Racing. Lucio Condi in the background along with Caden Scott. Nicky Taylor, Brian Mongrand, Richard Oakes, and Matthias Wiedemann. Looking down the inside. I find the Nissan's a little bit track dependent, but other than that, it is fine. And the Track Tool does lose not one, but 2 spots. Young is through on Slater, and Condi is coming through as well through Druids. The winner from Kyalami, kind of out of nowhere. Lucio Condi's got some speed. I applaud it. The 726 car has been flying these last 2 rounds. Gets nudged a little bit wide there by Slater. And Caden Scott says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that spot." And it looks like he's going to try and make it 2 for 1 as he goes down the inside of Hawthorne's. Oop, that's a off-track moment there for Sean Young. Will topple down a couple spots. And now performs a little bit of a traffic jam here with Caden Scott. It says Idris Cahill behind him. I don't believe that, no. Idris Cahill's up ahead. But, Sean Young now with Caden Scott, Dave Slater, Lucio Condi, Mickey Taylor, and Brian Mongrand on his butt. And also Richard Oakes in the rust bucket. Richard Oakes just boldly overtakes Mongrand and Taylor. Mongrand all sided up a little bit off the track and rejoins in behind Matthias Wiedemann. Robert Volt watch, because he's kind of key to all the championship stuff going on right now. He's down in 28th place. His rival Sven van de Velde is in 35th place, so he is ahead of Sven. But I'm afraid I think he'll need more. Call me crazy, he'll need more. Tristan Akaloan continues to lead at the front from Patrick Bellish and Cedric Muir. Nathan Gray in 4th, Max Cruz in 5th. Mickey Taylor on the tail of Richard Oakes. Aliens versus Rust Bucket. I feel like that literally is the premise for an alien movie. In space, no one can hear you rust. Sean Young up on the back of Idris Cahill. I mean, admittedly, starting from the pit lane allowed him to avoid that big pileup at Druids. So, I mean, let's not get too carried away, Liam. We're all here. We're cheering for Robert Volt, but like, you know, we can't give him credit. We can't give him over credit as Idris Cahill power slides a little bit there. And he'll lose 2 spots there as both Young and Scott make their way through. Caden Scott, I should say. There are multiple Scotts in the field, so gotta be specific. And Slater is coming up on the back end of them as well. What happened to... Hang on. What happened here? So Idris Cahill is going to hit Caden Scott is my thought. Yeah. back of him. By the way, Max Cruz also had a moment, apparently. And Matthias Wiedemann off the track. So what happened here? Behind Caden Scott, ahead of Brian Mongraw. Just kind of loses the back end through Paddock Hill. Been there, done that. Had that problem. Casey Jones off the track. And trying to dig his way out of the sand trap. This looks like it's going to be self-inflicted. See what happens here. Yep. Gets a little bit of the sand, gets a little bit of the dirty bit, and ends up digging for his golf ball. Dick Post side-by-side action with Matthias Wiedemann. And the Porsche will move up a spot. Currently running third in the iron category. So good run so far for Dick Post. Yellow flag out for Tyler Scott. Looks like he's ended up off the track. This looks like it's going to be self-inflicted. Yep. Yep. A lot of that going around right now. We also have our first pit stop here. Mickey Taylor is in the pit lane, as well as Sven van de Velde. So a couple of undercuts in play. Of course, when you're pitting this early, it tends to be the result of some kind of damage you picked up, so may not have the strategic advantage of an undercut. At the front is still all Tristan Akaloan, the Dutch driver, leading the way. Patrick Bellish, still within contact, but he doesn't have to make big risks. Really, all he's looking to do here is beat Nathan Gray. Cedric Muir running in third, Gray in fourth, Max Cruz, James Wheel, Ron Morley, Ricky Bacalar, L. Perry, and Kerry Patton in your top 10. Richard Oakes looking to get past Matthias Wiedemann. I don't think Wiedemann's going to make that too hard for him. He's a bronze driver. Oakes is a silver driver. And just historically, Matthias has not really been much for fighting guys who are not in his category. Unless it's like at the very end of the race. And there's something on the line. Robert Volt continues to move forward. He's up to 23rd place on the tail of Chris Stancer. And behind him, that is Alfie Solomons. In the Los Patos Hermanos BMW. I don't know how comfortable I'd be at being ahead of like a man like Alfie Solomons. He controls the rum distilleries of Birmingham. Pat Fortune in the pits. Haven't said his name much today at all. Adrian Marood, considering the qualifying went really rough for Adrian Marood, he is doing pretty well up at 21st. On the tail of Matthias Wiedemann. Tyler Scott joining the undercutting pit stoppers. Probably because he needs a new pair of tires. Robert Volt looking for a move on Chris Stancer. Not this time through Jim Clark Curve. Adrian Marood looking to set something up into Druids, I imagine. On Matthias Wiedemann here. Looks to the inside. Thinks better of it. See if Robert Volt can kind of do the same thing. Looks to the inside. And Stancer's giving him a lot of room there. That's a very polite move there from Chris Stancer. Volt up into 22nd place. Alfie Solomon's looked to capitalize as well, but has not managed to make it happen. Patrick Bellish has dropped back a couple of spots. What has happened to the man who is in second place? Looks like we've missed it at this point. He's already behind the Los Patos boys. Not sure what happened at all. We'd have to go back further to find it. Unfortunately. Casey Jones overtaking Idris Cahill again. Kerry Pattinen putting the pressure on El Perry. They've caught up to... I think that's lap traffic. That would be Pat Fortune, who's on the undercut. These are the early pitting cars that are getting lapped. This is an awkward spot. El Perry getting a little impatient with Pat. And Pat is taking a defensive line there. I don't know if that's intentional, but that's not good. And it's going to let Pattinen through. And J.J. Zimmerman having all kinds of problems. The track tool Porsche off destroying styrofoam barriers. Or markers, I should say. Inside line now for Pattinen. And all of this because a blue flag couldn't be cleared by El Perry. Pat Fortune is inadvertently played into this battle. Or at least I hope inadvertently, and El Perry is not happy about it. He's got the flashing headlights out. Pat needs to get out of the way. I am all about blue flag rights here, but at this point Pat does need to get... Oh no! And Kerry Pattinen just shoves him around. That was not good. It was kind of not good by anybody, to be honest. Ryan Mongrand tried to overtake Idris Cahill, ended up sideways somehow. What happened? I saw an overtake happening. And when we went to it, Mongrand was sideways. Ooh, got on the grass. Okay, yeah, that's on Brian. And his car is going to be badly crabbing now. That's no good. Akaloan is falling down the order. What? The race leader has been in the wall, I think. Tristan Akaloan was leading this race by a long shot. And we saw Patrick Bellish off earlier as well. And now we have Akaloan. Cedric Muir has inherited the lead. And Akaloan gets hit by Mickey Taylor on his way into the pit lane and then hits the pit wall. This day is gone. He takes out the pit lane sign. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That is not good. That is not good. Steve Tetley off the track. We've got a lot of people just getting a little too aggressive for their own good. A little bit of grass ends up in the wall. Just a light tap though. He'll be okay. He'll be fine. So, after all this chaos, your race leader is the 68 of Cedric Muir, looking for his second win of the season. He won at Zolder. Second place is now Nathan Gray. Third place in his rear gunner is his fellow Las Patos Hermanos Mercedes teammate Max Cruz. Patrick Bellish is up to fourth. James Wheel to fifth. Sean Morley, Ricky Beckelar, El Perry, Kerry Pattinen, who are still battling. And they have now caught up to Beckelar, too. And Sean Young now in the top 10. F that sign in particular. I've had tracks where taking out the pit-in sign is actually illegal, technically. It's worth the penalty. I don't think Brands Hatch has that kind of problem. The pit lane is not really structured in a manner that really catches you by surprise the same way some others do. We're just seeing a lot of self-imposed errors here. We didn't see what happened to Akaloa. I went back 15 seconds and it was insufficient. We need to go back 30. But there's really only two options. Option number one, he got taken out by a blue flag car, or in a blue flag situation, or he took himself out, basically. As Ricky Beckelar loses a spot there to El Perry in the stealth bomber. Kerry Pattenden also looking to come through in the Track Tool Mustang. And he does. Robert Volt watch, he's up to 20th. Dave Slater battling with Jos van de Velde. He's fallen back a couple of spots. The Track Tool McLaren. It looks okay, though, so whatever mistakes he's been doing have not terribly damaged the car. A couple of pit stops in progress. We got Stipo, Robert Stoltz, Idris Cahill, and Jesse Dykeman in the pit lane. And the Los Patos guys are getting caught by Patrick Bellish. Richard Oakes had a brief off, but has not lost a spot, so it could not have been anything particularly drastic. Oh, Matthias Wiedemann's off. What has happened to the Cyber Racing Ferrari? This looks like maybe he got on the curb a bit. It's also possible he may get a nudge here. Nope. Self-inflicted. Got a little too much grass. Ended up in the wall. We've seen that from a couple of people. Richard Oakes is going to take his first pit stop. And Max Cruz is trying to rear gun for Nathan Gray here and keep Patrick Bellish back, but it's got to be tempting. It's got to be tempting if you're in that Los Patos Hermanos 57 car to go after the team leader in a championship battler a little bit, even though you're having a pretty good day winning the bronze category as we speak. Cruz has got 2 wins on the season. He won at Kyalami and Misano. His problem is at Oulton Park he had wheel issues and had to miss Red Bull and Zolder. So it's kind of put him as a long shot for the title. Actually, what am I saying? He's really not in the title hunt. He could win. He could win. But an 8th place finish today from Sven van der Velde does eliminate him from title competition. And that's if he does the full 20. Fastest lap, pole, and race win. And he cannot do that because James Wheel had the pole. Max Cruz, yellow flag. Okay, it looks like it's just like a connection issue. Popping in and out. Adrian Maroud has had a bit of an accident and is going to hit the pit lane. Also in his dick post. In the meantime, Cedric Muir out in front, kind of just dominating. 10.8 seconds up. Making his way through back traffic here. One of the Van Nel Porsches there, as well as the track tool car of David Slater. So that'd be Jos van de Velde and David Slater. Highest ranking driver who has pitted is Richard Oakes. Ron Morley, L. Perry, and Sean Young all in the pit lane now. Perry's got a 10-second penalty, so that should drop him probably out of the top 10. He'll have to race back down the stretch, but I have faith in his abilities. L. Perry, when he's turned on, has been a really, really solid driver, and that Nissan seems to be working pretty well today. Just needs to put aside the adventures he had with Pat Fortune in Blue Flags and get on getting on. Brian Mongrand joins the pit stoppers. Should be mentioned, of the top 4, only Gray is not carrying a penalty, so that will work out for him once the pit stops come into play. He has not got a time penalty there. Cruz does. Bellish does. Mirror does. But it's not going to be enough to catch Mirror. As Max Cruz continues to have some slight issues with connection. And they come up to El Perry to put the lap on him as he has pitted. So he's about a pit stop behind them. Also, one of the track tool cars in there. That is, I think, JJ Zimmerman. I think he's the only track tool Porsche. Yeah, it is JJ. So, I guess apologies to JJ if there's another track tool Porsche that's been doing bad things that I've been blaming on him. But I don't believe that's the case. I think he's the only track tool Porsche out there. Most of their team runs Mustangs, but there are exceptions. Mario Fahey in the Audi, the Porsche of J.J. Zimmerman, and Dave Slater in his McLaren. All come to mind. Teams are not required to run the same car. And in fact, very few of them do. So, Max Cruz blinks in and out of existence again. In the meantime, Nathan Gray is managing to scamper off down the field. The Los Patos Hermanos rear gunner. He's used up. James Wheels in the pits. As well as Kerry Pattinen, so the track tool Mustangs are in. Idris Cahill on the back of Adrian Marou. And Marou may have just suckered them there. Baited him for the inside Druids move, and now he's going to try and go around the outside of Graham Hill Bend. But the Beamer hangs on. That's Tyler Scott off the track. Obviously, South African driver. Running in 32nd place. Into Hawthorns. Marud thinks inside. Doesn't go for it. And Kerry Pattenden now in the pits, along with Chris Stancer. David Slater also in the pit lane. So the track tools all coming in at more or less the same time. Some exceptions. Mario Fahey is still out there, and JJ Zimmerman came in much earlier. But their top runners are keeping things going. Oh, somebody has obliterated some styrofoam markers around the outside of Paddock Hill. Steve Tetley recovering from an off. Himself in a stunt possum sandwich. It's Casey Jones in front and Pat Fortune, I think? No, I think it's D. Hines. D's the McLaren. Pat is the Lambo, if memory serves. Good stop for Patrick Bellish. Couple of yellow flags out. Dick Post putting the pressure on our man Robert Volt. So Volt in 22nd place. He has made his pit stop. So effectively should move up some spots. I imagine he'll be able to overtake Jos van de Velde when he comes into the pit lane. And probably about it. I was trying to think of Alfie. He'll probably get Alfie Solomons. Probably get Jos van de Velde, Alfie Solomons, but I don't think he'll get Mario Fahey when he pits. So it should probably put him about 21st place in actuality. Maybe 20th. Sean Young, Kerry Pattenden both catching up to Mario Fajea. Mario is not pitted, so he's not really part of this fight. But he is also teammates with Kerry Pattenden, so Team Track Tool could play a little anti-Sean Young game, I'm just saying. Ricky Beckalarian, Max Cruisen. And Mario lets Kerry Pattenden through without much issue. And, yeah, he's not going to treat Sean Young quite the same way, which, that's team politics. Not really any other battles going on right at the moment, so it's really just this and Volt versus Post. And I do think that the Delta here is going to produce us with some action here before we get really anything between Volt and Post. Sean Young's trying to turn into a top 10 car here today, and in a nutshell, Fajea is not. Lucio Condi in the pits. Pitting from the iron lead, but Beckelar is the effective iron leader. Sean Young does get the job done. Good work. But he's lost the scent as far as Kerry Pattenden is concerned, so Mario doing the right thing for Team Track Tool there. El Perry up on the tail of Jos van de Velde. See how cool L's head is right now, because we saw him have blue flag issues earlier. This is not a blue flag, but Jos is only ahead of him because he is yet to pit. And he's just going to pit. Okay, so that makes it real simple. El Perry picking his way through. Yet to pit, it's basically the top four and Mario Fajea. Let's do some... No one down here. No one down here. Ron Morley up on the tail of Max Cruz. This is the battle for the bronze win here today, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't completely rule out the Mustang of James Wheel as a possible winner, but these two are in the driver's seat right now. Cruz versus Morley. Wheels in third, Taylor fourth, Cahill fifth, then Volt in sixth, Mongrand in seventh. Is 8 points enough for Robert Volt? It would be, but it would involve Van de Velde just not scoring anything. That's the problem. That's the problem. Oh, Max Cruz off the track. That was a weird one. Just kind of loses it through Paddock Hill Bend. Yep. And that will move up Morley and Wheel, as well as Bellish. Iron race kind of looks as follows. Beckelar leading from Mario Fajea. Fajea still has to pit. Lucio Condi in third. Dick Post in fourth. Fifth place belongs to Alfie Solomons. Sixth place to D. Hines. Seventh to Matthew East. Eighth to Jos van de Velde. Ninth to Stipo. And just a single point at the moment for Pat Fortune in 10th place. So not boding super well for his championship hopes. It's actually, you know who it's really working out well for, actually? It's the guy currently in fourth in the iron standings, and the guy currently in sixth in the iron standings, Alfie Solomons and Ricky Beckelar, respectively. They're having good days, both of them. And, of course, Bozer's not here, not turning up. Pat Fortune's having a rough day. Mario Fajea might have a good result, but he's going to miss Zandvoort. And D. Hines is not having a great day. So this might come down to Solomon's and Becalar, which is a bit of a weird combo given how the standings are right now. Cedric Muir in the pits. Let's see. Will Caden Scott take the lead? Come on, Caden. You know you want to lead a lap. You know you want. Not that you're in here for the win or anything, but everybody likes to be able to say that they led the race. Let's see if he stays out. Not much else. Oh, he's going to pit. He's going to pit. All right. So Mirror should still come out as the leader. Kerry Patton heading off. Richard Oakes up on the tail of L. Perry. Battle for 12th. But realistically, this will be 10th because they'll overtake Scott in the pits, and Mario Fajea will certainly pit out behind these guys. See what the Rust Bucket can do against the Stealth Bomber. Alrighty, a little bit wide there for L. Perry, and that is going to be the Rust Bucket going through. Picking up 11th place. Bucket can't do shit to Zilla. I'm afraid the result begs to differ, RC. I'm afraid that doesn't correspond. Oh, Matthias Wiedemann with a bit of an aggressive overtake there on Chris Stancer. Brian Mongrand fighting with them. The red Mercedes, that's Nathan Gray, so he's just lapping them. That's not a big deal. And Mongrand is through as well. So Chris Stancer losing out 2 spots. This is a pretty important bronze battle. This is the bronze battle for 6th place in the bronze category. Right now held by Wiedemann. Mongrand down the inside. Escorts some wide at Druids. And that'll do. That'll do. Perry overtaking Mario Fajea. He's just entering the pit lane. So Fajea is, I want to say, the last pit stopper. The Max Simmons Award today. With 18 minutes to go. Getting to the pits. We're going to try and turn in a good result. For his Iron Championship hopes. He might come out of today the leader. The problem just, again, is that he's already used up a drop score by not attending Kyalami, and he's going to miss Zandvoort, so that's going to be a problem for him. But the best he can do is try to put himself in the lead coming out today and see what happens. And I am not in any way encouraging peer pressure on Mario to get him to show up for Zandvoort, because his reason for missing Zandvoort is family. So, you know, we respect that here. All right, so let's do a quick rundown here. So Patrick Bellish is running in 3rd place. Nathan Gray is running in 2nd. Cedric Muir has the lead. Also has fastest lap. Sean Young is in 4th place. Which that's kind of come out of nowhere. Kerry Patton is 10th, or is in 5th. Then it's Richard Oakes and El Perry, who we're watching right now. Caden Scott is 8th in the silver. Then it's Marood and Casey Jones. So as it stands, Bellish would take a 11-point lead to the final at Zandvoort. It would be a 2-horse race because Bran Cox is not here. And Richard Oakes is not scoring enough to keep his hopes alive. So Bellish would be leading by 11 points over Nathan Gray. So it'll be a 2-horse race at Zandvoort. And then a good battle for third between Cedric Muir, Bram Cox, Richard Oakes, and Sean Young. We'll be having a good fight for the third place, the final spot on the podium. Matthias Wiedemann on the tail of Alfie Solomons. I'll do a rundown in a couple of minutes of the bronze category as well. But I suspect the bronze category will be a little bit dull because I think it's just going to be Van der Velde as champion. He came in today with a 25-point lead, so it's a hard one. Robert Volt is beating him, and Brian Mongrand is beating him, and Ron Morley is beating him, but it's not going to be by enough, I don't think. Also, keep in mind, Sven has attended and scored points at every race this season. His worst result is 8th at Misano. So he's actually got a drop score even. So, yeah, he's doing pretty good for himself. I think this race is going to end up being his drop. Assuming he attends Zandvoort, and I haven't heard anything in the contrary. Steve Tetley moving up a spot there, overtaking Dick Post for 18th place. Yellow flag out for Alfie Solomons. What happened to you, Alfie? Oh, looks like he joined in the wrong car at some point. Ooh. Well, Alfie, far be it from me to say anything about the great Alfie Solomons, but for risk of getting, smashed over the head with something. But that's all your fault. As Dick Post also has a little bit of a journey through the sand. Might lose him a spot to Robert Volt as a result, but that doesn't help Robert. Robert needs to overtake silver or bronze cars, not irons, to keep his championship alive. Race leader Cedric Muir might be a little bit frustrated with this. These two are battling, as they have a right to. I guess he can't be that angry. He's got a 5-second cushion back to Nathan Gray. He just has to get through traffic reasonably okay. And he'll be fine. Matthew East and D. Hines having a good little battle. We've seen very little of Matthew East this season, which is a shame. We enjoy Matthew East here in the commentary booth. Matthew East getting a little too much of the curb there. Steepo also having a little bit of a moment somewhere. He's just off camera. All right, so let's talk about the bronze. Ron Morley leads the way right now. Second place belongs to James Wheel, today's pole sitter. Third place to Max Cruz. Fourth place, quite a ways back though, Mickey Taylor. In fifth place is Idris Cahill, although he is now carrying some damage, and that car it's not handling right as he takes a trip off at Paddock Hill Bend. So, just saying, we might see him drop. Robert Volt in 6th place. Volt needs to take advantage of that. 7th place for Mongrain. 9th place belongs to Matthias Wiedemann. Or pardon me, 8th place belongs to Matthias Wiedemann. 9th to Chris Stancer. And the last point at the moment in the bronze category belongs to David Slater. He was in a battle with Akaloan, who... Well, let's just say Akaloan cannot be happy that he's fighting with Dave Slater. No disrespect to Dave Slater, but Akaloan looked like he was a surefire winner today. He looked like he had the pace. He took pole. He was pulling away at the start. And then he headbutted a wall. And, well, now he's down in 26th place and not scoring any points in his silver debut, outside of one for the pole. And I wouldn't overlook him as a possible fastest lap contender. Absolute agony, got a huge cramp in your left leg. Ah, that's not good. That's not good. Been there, done that. I would say the back is worse than getting a leg cramp, but that's just my preference, I guess. In a nutshell. Not really any great battles going on of significance right this second. So let's talk about the iron category. Ricky Beckelaar is dominating today and should be on his way to a pretty clean victory in the category and a possible championship lead. Lucio Condi is currently in 2nd place. 3rd placed, Dick Post. That's helping Beckelaar out, too, because Condi is not really a factor, although he's becoming one. And Post, of course, is only in his 2nd race. Alfie Solomons is in 4th, despite his earlier off. Mario Ferreira in 5th place. Let's go, Mario. 6th place belongs to Jas van de Velde. 7th place, D. Hines. 8th place, Matthew East. Although his car is a bit banked up. Ninth place belongs to Stipo. And the final point in the iron belongs to J.J. Zimmerman at the moment. So that would put Beckelaar in the lead with 55 points. As things stand, he'd be 3 points ahead of Fahea, who unfortunately is missing Zandvoort, and 3 points ahead of Alfie Solomons. He'd be 4 points ahead of the retired Bowser, 5 points ahead of Condi, who's suddenly in a championship contending position. And, yeah, it's, bronze may be a little bit settled, silver may be a little bit of a two-horse race, but the Iron Championship come Zandvoort still looks like it's going to be, really, really interesting come down the stretch. Which is weird, because at the start of the season, Caden Scott was running away with it, then he got promoted. Then Brian Mongrain was running away with it, now he's gotten promoted, so the promotions have kept the iron, hot, so to speak. As Adrian Maru laps one of the stunt possums there. Caden Scott is off the track. This happened to the Crazy Rabbit Ferrari. Yeah, Just gets a little bit of too much of grass there into Hawthorne's. And spins. Ooh, gets lucky that that Van Nel car was active and looking for him. Doesn't drop him down anything in the standings at the moment. But it does have him under pressure from both Adrian Marood and Casey Jones, who are currently running 9th and 10th in the silver category. Got some traffic coming through as well. Sean Young having a little bit of it off, and it looks like it might have involved somebody else, given that there's another car going very slow there. Let's see here. What happened? And it looks like one of the Van Nels went for a little bit of an aggressive move, but the other car off was not involved. Not a horrible thing, but probably not the cleanest thing in the world. So that'll flip him and Kerry Pattenden around. What probably makes that bad is that Van Nel car was not battling with Sean for position. They were lapped. So that is not good. Sean Young gets back that spot on Kerry Pattenden, who ends up very wide there. Further back, Mario Fajea putting the pressure on Alfie Solomons, trying to keep his championship hopes alive. And he's going to lose control of the car there. Akaloan goes through. Slater goes through. Stancer goes through. Should be able to return 5th place in the iron category, though. Such was his gap back to Jos van de Velde. Solomons also lets Akaloan through, which makes sense. He is much faster. Solomons has an Iron Championship to think about. Adrian Marood on the tail of Caden Scott. Looking for a key extra 2 points, although this would be the first point scoring effort of the season for Marood, so he's having a rough time. So not really much of a crucial point. This is just for pride. This is 100% him trying to just show that he can bring in some points and gain a little momentum for next season. Goes around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. Caden Scott continues to hang on, but Scott's got that damaged front end. And the cut back will go to Marood. Dropping Caden Scott down to 9th in the category. Max Cruz is on James Wheel's tail. We have got one of the Sarko cars. I think that's Robert Stoltz. And he gets out of the way without playing too much of a role. Does let Wheel get a little bit of a gap, but nothing too bad. Matthew East and Jesse Dykeman in the pits. Dick Post on the charge. It's Casey Jones in front of him, who has had a moment at some point. Moving Steve Tetley up into the points for the silver category. Possibly for the first time today, Idris Cahill a little off the track there. Cahill has got a very damaged car, and that's less than ideal. Casey Jones off the track. And recovering. That car does not look terribly comfortable right now. It's not a lot of really great battles going on right now, but the rate people are making like just slight mistakes. It could get interesting. In all seriousness. Cruz versus Wheel is a good battle, and Richard Oakes is up on the tail of Ricky Beckelar. If I'm Beckelar, I'm just getting out of his way. Let Richard through. Let Richard do his thing. That would be my approach. This is not your fault. Oh God, did he get hit? Was there contact there between Beckelar and Oakes? I didn't see it. Marood sliding down a couple of spots on a spin.
Leaders on final lap time.
Oh, Marood parks it. Oh no, Marood. Well, that's a point for Tristan Akaloan. Not what he wanted. I'm sure if you asked him telling him today he'd come in pole, if he'd be happy to be picking up a single point on the last lap. I don't know how happy he'd be. We'll just leave it at that. Idris Cahill's very, very unhappy car. As Max Cruz overtakes James Wheel. Now he looks to try to take two lapped cars at the same time, and does. So, far be it for me to question the logic right now. It's Wiedemann up a spot as well. Alright. Cruz taking it off of Wheel. Big deal. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. Now Sean Young on the tail of Beckelar, who's also battling with Kerry Pattinen. So, no, that's not Pattinen. That's got to be that's David Slater, I think. He's a blue flag car. What is he doing? He is actively defending. Cedric Muir is your winner. There hasn't really been much of a doubt on that the whole time. Nathan Gray coming home second. Third is going to belong to Ron Morley, who late in the race overtook Bellish. And I think my race control decided this moment was the moment to crash. Oh no, it's working. Just not doing a very good job. I've lost my timing data. Sean Young across the line in 9th place. Beckelar falls down to 10th at the end. Still going to be the iron winner, assuming you can get the car running and take that last turn. Whoa! That was a little dangerous. Could have just gone through the pit lane, I think, there, my friend. Mickey Taylor comes across the line in 11th. And there we go. Alright, let me see if I could double check my standings here real quick. Nathan Gray, Patrick Bellish. Then after that, it should be Richard Oakes. Yes, it is. Kerry Pattinen. Sean Young. Yes. L. Perry. Yes. Caden Scott. Steve Tetley and Tristan Akaloan. Yes, yes, yes. And then in the bronze category, Ron Morley, the winner. Yep. Max Cruz. James Wheel. Mickey Taylor. Robert Volt. After that should be Mongron. Yes. Wiedemann, Cahill, and then I can't see. And then all I got is the podium for the iron there, which is Beckelar. had a rough ending of the race, but did well. Lucio Condi and Dick Post. Okay. So I should have the correct standings here. But keep in mind, the standings are unofficial, that as I put them. Oh, I went to the wrong place. Let's show off the winning car, which today was the Ferrari 296. What do we want here? Emil Frey, Kessel. Do the Rinaldis look good? They don't look bad. Just got 10 past. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's the answer right there. Okay. As per usual, we have the commentary, the section here where we talk to the drivers if they want. But I do quickly want to organize my standings here. So, rough numbers, super rough numbers. Silver category, Patrick Bellish leading by 11 points, 83-72 over Nathan Gray. It is a 2-horse fight for the title. Cedric Mears on 55, 52 for Richard Oakes, 49 for Brandon Cox. So pretty fun, like, three-way fight for third place. Sean Young on 36, Kerry Patton on 36, 32 for Bearded X Badass, L. Perry on 30, and Casey Jones rounding off the top 10 on 26. Then we have the bronze category, which is 75 points for Sven van de Velde. So he leaves today. The title is still alive, everybody. It's going down to Zandvoort. 60 points for Robert Volt and Ron Morley on 60. So there is a hope. There is a hope. Brian Mongrand is also technically still alive in the title, but he needs to do like a clean sweep. He's on 56 points. Max Cruz on 50. James Wheel, or 55. James Wheel on 50 in 6th place. 7th is Matthias Wiedemann on 42. Thomas Wong on 36 is 8th. Nicholas Light and Mickey Taylor rounding off the top 10 on 27 and 26, respectively. And then finally we get to the iron category, which is a lovely, weird time. Ricky Beckelar exits with 55 points. He is the leader. Mario Fajea on 42. 52. Alfie Solomons on 52. Bo Zur on 51. Lucio Condi on 50. Pat Fortune on 45. D. Hines on 43. And then it goes all the way down to Nathan B. and Jos van de Velde, who are technically still alive for the championship on 36 points. That is kind of insane that 9 people will go into the finals with a shot at the title. Martin Wombley is in 10th on 34 points. All right, so we have a couple of interview requests. I believe Robert Volt was here first. So, Robert Volt, your adoring public desires to know how your race went.
This flu couldn't be in a way worse situation. Like, I was almost transitioning into dreamland right after my pit stop.
So this is your Michael Jordan flu game?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
I just joined because I knew it was like, yeah, I kind of needed points.
Well, your championship hopes are still alive because Sven van de Velde kind of had a bed crapper today and scored 0 points. So yeah. You go into Zandvoort 15 points behind, but like, you know, you're alive.
Yeah, at least my scores is more alive than I currently am anyway. So,
well, get yourself some soup, get yourself some hydration, and feel better.
Oh, you have no idea. I've been drinking water like a motherfucker. And yeah, it definitely feels like a lot of people had issues with the sun coming straight in your eyeballs the moment you pass the start-finish line.
Yeah, there were a couple of mistakes through Paddock Hill Bend, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Go.
also coughing my fucking lungs out.
All right, go.
Slow.
Rest.
I will. Bed, here I come.
Next up, we got Ron Morley, and we'll invite him to speak. Ron was our bronze winner today, 3rd place overall, had a really solid day. Ron, I got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah.
I gave you
What's
the
that?
nickname the Purple People Eater. Why is your livery getting progressively less purple?
Well, I think magenta's not exactly purple. It's one of my favorite colors right now.
It's close enough, but it's like
Yeah.
mostly black today. You're ruining your nickname.
Well, yes. The Josh Friedman stuff
I see.
inspired me because I have my own Josh.
Okay.
I got all my sim gear because my best friend died, and so I joined. I started racing to get some happiness back in my life, and here I am with you guys, 3rd place today, having the opposite day of Robert.
I mean, all things considered, Robert's race day went okay. He was just dying.
Did it?
Like he
Yes,
got to
I agree.
5th place in class after starting for the pit lane. That's not too bad.
Oh, damn.
His
bad.
his result wasn't bad. He's just feeling bad.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't see.
Well, congratulations on the podium and the win.
Thank you. Thank you.
You also kept your championship hopes alive, although they are slim. I'm not gonna josh you and say that they look great, but they may have a Kate Moss quality to them, but they are there.
Yes, they are. Which is miraculous because I've had the craziest season this year. Keep getting in accidents and having to work my way back to the front from the back. No, today was a nice change of pace.
That's good. Get the dub in the name. You're on 60 points by my math. Do not take that as the gospel. Wait for the actual standings update, but you should be 15 points back of Sven heading into Zandvoort. So
Dang.
the hope is there. You'll need a top 2 finish, and you'll need Sven to suck.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, he did today. He did suck today. So you just need to repeat this race.
All right, let's do it again. I do like Zandvoort, so
That's good. I think there's
Yeah.
probably a fair amount of Zandvoort Brands Hatch overlap as far as skills, as far as track feel is concerned.
I think you're right. Excellent.
All right. Anything
All
else,
right.
or shall I?
No, you have a great day then. Thank you.
You have a great day too, Ron. Congratulations on the
Thank
W.
you. All right. Thank you.
I see we have a Mickey Taylor in the audience. Mickey, if you would like to speak, you will. There you go. Hand is up. Mickey Taylor of the Alien Racing Team. 4th place today in class, I think.
Oh, 4th in class. 12th overall, I think it was. Had some really interesting things happening in the first stint. Typical Brands Hatch. That's why it's not my favourite track in the world. Lots of interclass and blue flag situations. I'm just watching a particular driver, car number 726, caused me a few issues. But I've just realised on the back of his car he's got "Please don't overtake." I wonder why. Boy, oh boy, I was sweating it out. Then I decided to stop, and I thought, right, okay, I'll just follow the leaders around the track. Had to let a few of them through. It wasn't until like the last half an hour I could actually get my foot down a little bit, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Had a big wobble at the start of the season. Or just having children, having very busy lives, it affects you mentally. My head just wasn't in the right place. I was kind of forcing myself to drive. Went to Daytona, met some guys, did some go-karting. It was brilliant. Actually seeing guys, racing guys, it was on a wet track as well, which was even better. So go-karting in the wet, man, that was cool. completely reset. Came back last week. My head was in a much better space, and I found my pace again. So
back-to-back fourth
so good.
places.
Indeed. So, but I quite like changing conditions. So next week should be fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. The booth is always open for the drivers.
Indeed. The previous race ended up picking up damage. This race picked up more damage. So without that damage, I probably would have gone a little bit further down the road, I think. But I did 50 minutes on one set of tyres, so it wasn't too bad.
I mean, you're an endurance primarily driver. I would think that you could do the entire race in one set.
Yeah. My best race was that charity race last year, race 15. That was my best race. I think finished 12th.
I can't say that I have any particular memories of how anyone did. I was kind of like like zombie by the end of it.
Yeah, I think we're at the back, and I think after the first, stint or two, we were up to like P12, and then we just kind of stayed there the whole race.
That's good.
So that was with El Perry and Emmanuelson. So yeah, that was good. It's kind of difficult.
You got El Perry to drive something other than he said?
Yeah. That's probably why he's not my teammate anymore. Love it. That was a good guy.
Oh, that describes my endurance career. We're driving this car. You don't like it? There are other teams. I'm like, okay, we're driving the Aston Martin. Let's go.
The team car was supposed to be the Ferrari anyway. That was always a team car, but me and Jim decided to switch because we previously drove the McLaren, and there we go. So, see the other car that I drive. So.
Oh, I'll drive just about anything.
Yeah.
But my preferences are like for the Audi, which nobody wants to drive with me.
Yeah, first car I drove was a BMW.
First car in this game I drove was a horrible mistake because it was a Bentley.
Bentley? Oh, God. Never tried one. I think the first time I tried driving a Mustang, when they released a Ford Mustang, I think I did 2 corners and I just said, right, I'm not driving this car. I refused to drive.
I drove. My first ACC dipping was like during the beta testing for the game, so no Mustang option.
I did actually learn the car in the end. I actually did learn to drive it. Did an endurance race with it, but after that I kind of just left it. So then I went back to the Macca. So it's all good. But I prefer the Macca around North Shore. It's much more fun. So finally, master that track.
I think I'm permanently poisoned on the Mac, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When it came into the game, and it was just everywhere because it was overpowered as all get up, and it ruined the car for me. Like I just I can't bring myself to have any interest in coming back to it.
Yeah, you have to learn how to harness and use that extra power. That rear end is crazy. But if you can learn how to control it and use it to your advantage, it's quite a nice car to drive. I mean, around here it's quite tricky because obviously you have to short shift a lot. So, just to make sure you got the traction. Going into turn 1, it's like you put your foot down too quickly, too early. You slide all over the place.
Saw plenty of drivers do that there. Paddock Bend, one of the most difficult corners around, honestly.
Absolutely. I mean, the weight transfer is crazy. That's what gets most people. But no, right. I think I may need to make 1 ticket for a blue flag infringement. I'm not particularly happy. I was flashing my lights a little bit.
Yeah, there was a couple that didn't look all that great out there today.
No, but it's Brands Hatch. It's what it is. You're going to be nose to tail.
Well,
right, I'm going to take a shower now.
I would say good luck in the championship, but you're not alive in
I'm
the
not
championship.
in this year.
You're kind of in no man's land, honestly. You're competing with Nicholas Light, who's missed a couple of races now, and Robert Stoltz, who seems to have a really hard time staying out of trouble.
I'm yeah, I'm not putting any pressure on myself. That's why I'm doing better. So hopefully, when I come back next season, head will still be in the same space.
Find that sweet spot.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a good one. Enjoy your shower.
You too. Thank you, buddy. Bye.
You have a good one. All right. Well, that seems to be everybody that we have that wants to have an interview today. Remember, if you're watching this later and you're thinking, why didn't I go for an interview? Well, go for the interview. There's the answer. So, hope everyone enjoyed today. Good racing, tight racing, a lot of carnage for those who enjoy that kind of thing. And a couple of drivers driving, not at their best, but getting decent results nonetheless. So, shout out to Robert Volt for soldiering on and delivering a good result and keeping his championship hopes alive. So, hope everyone enjoyed. See you at Zandvoort, and I really need a snazzy sign off, but Byron's not here to deliver that. So there you go.